afternoon. Hello. Welcome. It's not breakfast time. I know. So I apologise. I was needed elsewhere this morning at like 7:30, so I didn't have time to come back for the stream. But here we are. It's lunchtime. I'm on my lunch at work. Work rate is still there. We're still going. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Happy Monday, wherever you are. It is official double season. Another cup double for the Blues. Yeah, man. Let me know how you're feeling. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hello. Another week. What up, Rob? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, man. So what a weekend. Let's just go straight off the bat. The game was horrible. It was crap, but you know what? It don't matter. We got a trophy, lads. Another trophy for the cabinet. And you know, 15 years ago, we didn't have shit all in our trophies. It weren't looking like we were ever going to get one again. And look at us now. Would you look at us? That meme. It is, man. But yeah, so it was nice to be coming out of Wembley with a trophy. Because last year I went to the FA Cup final and we lost. It was shit and it was horrible. It was absolutely hanging to come back from Wembley with no trophy, especially when you probably deserved it. So yeah, well, today on the agenda, we'll talk about the FA Cup. The fact it's a double. We've got Semenyo, Marmoush, Kovacic, Rodri, some Nunes. The Pep leaving stories are getting louder and more annoying. And then we're going to look forward onto Bournemouth and chuck a bit of Real Madrid hating as well, because I'm sick of talking about Arsenal. Yeah. Do me a favour if you're enjoying the broadcast and stuff. You just come in and hit the like up. It's good. It'll do me a favour. It helps spread the stream, and everyone likes what's for it. I'm not asked, but I've got to. So yeah, like the stream. I'll go from there, really. Oh yeah, City win the double. Just turn this music down. Anglo-Parliamentarian Cup. What is that? What cup's that? I mean, we have one more. We've won the Women's Super League. We've won the Under-18s FA Cup. You know what I mean? Trophies, man. What we do now, innit? It's what we do. It's what we do. But yeah, so let's just reflect on the FA Cup final. So yeah, City won 1-0 against Chelsea. The spectacle itself on the day was absolutely mega. It was. I loved it from the journey down. Oh, we won it in Italy. Oh, so that one, yeah, okay. Are we counting that? Are we going to count that one, guys? I don't know. But yeah, so the spectacle itself was mint. I've not been. The times I've been to a final at Wembley, I've always like been driven down or on the train or something. But this was like the full experience of a coach journey. So yeah, I got on the coach at 7:30 a.m. There was 76 of us from our supporters club, and I did actually bump into Louis Talks. So Louis lives near me. I bumped into Louis in the morning. I saw his massive afro walking up from a mile away. Shouted at him. We had a chat to Louis. But yeah, so the whole spectacle, the journey down was mint. Everyone's drinking at 7 o'clock in the morning. Why not? Songs on the coach. Got to Wembley. Mega. Loved it. Yeah, well, there's something about going to Wembley for a cup final that's just mint. Just is. Just is, man. And it's sort of like the feeling where it's. I know a lot of City fans have been to Wembley a lot of times and I take it for granted, but think about it in the grand scheme of things. What has there been, like 128 FA Cup finals or something like that? And in the last 4 years, we've been to all 4. How mega is that? So as an achievement for the club, it's massive. Yeah, the spectacle was mint. The build-up was mint. I'm the sort of guy. So what I do is I'm not asked about going to the pub and drink. I don't drink and stuff, so I'm not asked about going to the pub. Although I did go just to say hello to some people. I'm the sort of guy. I just chill. I went to the game. I got some content for a company that I work for, so I went and got some content for the Wembley walkway and outside the ground and stuff. Got that. Then I went to the game. I just went and sat in the ground an hour early. I went and sat in my seat. I went and stood in where I was sat because I had safe standing. I just stood there and soaked up, man, because those are the days. It's very different when you go to if you go to a normal week game, a normal match game. Nothing really changes from game to game. It's not like you're going to see anything new. But when you go to Wembley and just sit and chill and listen to the sounds and the stuff that's happening and watching the players training and just looking at little things, like I picked up on Joe Hart going straight to James Trafford and giving him a big load of love and stuff before the game. There's little things like that matter to me. I'm like, you know, I want to sense the vibe. want to immerse myself in the occasion. So yeah, it's good, man. And then it starts to fill up, and then the music starts playing. I want to give a bit of a thing to actually the FA, because they had the Bradford City fans choir there singing. And if you don't understand about what that means, the relevance of that, the part is it Bradford? I can't remember the name of the stadium now, but their stadium set on fire like a long time ago, and there was a load of fans died. I think it was 56 fans died in a fire at Bradford City's ground. And they had the choir on there singing "Abide with Us," which is like, is it a hymn? I don't know. It's just not a song that they sing in this country. But they had the new Bradford City kit on, so it was like, that's mint. That I love that, and that would have meant stuff to so many people. So I'm like, you know what, that's mint. So yeah, that's one thing they got right on the day. And then when the teams are like, and that when the teams are coming out, you just that thing where all the banners are out on the ground, and then the military are singing, and they sing the national anthem, and then the fireworks going off. It's just mega. It's just a mega experience, man. And I feel bad that lots of people don't get to experience it. But I also feel good that it's our club that's experiencing it more than most. So yeah, so before the game started, it was like so good. So good, man. It's just a mint experience. And for someone who's grown up like me, I just love the FA Cup. And seeing as a kid and watching things and looking back to like when Gaza scored that free kick against Arsenal in the semis and stuff, or the final, should I say, and then, you know, I just love watching the FA Cup, and the finals mega, so it was mint. Yeah, and then the game started, and then it was shit. The best thing about it wasn't the game. A cup double in transition season, I'm going to a final to lose, but I'm not there. Yeah, man. Yeah, Luke. It doesn't matter how you win. We could have blown them away 8-0, and the result's still the same, right? So it is what it is. But yeah, so the game itself was a bit shit. Chelsea are crap. Chelsea are really, really crap. They are. There were so many better teams that could have got to the final. Somehow they scammed a win to get there. You know, they just had 11 men behind the ball. Cheryl Cole Palmer finished. He's done. Yeah, so in terms of like the City stuff though, it was a poor first half. I mean, we all sort of like double took at the Marmouche starting at the expense of Turkey. I don't think anyone saw that coming at all. At all. It was weird. But he went like the old 4-4-2, right? And to be fair, so Marmouche, he got subbed at half time, but during the game, he made some. You probably wouldn't have seen it on camera, but I was right behind one of the goals in the first half when they were attacking the other end of the pitch, and he made some mint runs. Those little runs where he drops to the shoulder and goes round, he just kept making loads, and nobody ever passed him to him. He just looked like he was doing all the right things, but just couldn't get the ball. You know, so I felt a bit bad for Marmouche. It was obvious it wasn't working, but it wasn't really his fault. And then the first half was kind of bobbins. It really was. The Ireland offside goal. I mean, yeah, that should never be offside there. We do that move so many times, and he doesn't need to be offside. But yeah, it was a pony first half, and then I'm sat in the stands watching, and I don't go for drinks and stuff at half time. I just chill and just watch it. I like to soak it up, like I said. But then you see Turkey come out warming up, and you're just thinking, you know what, it's on now. You know full well that Marmouche is going off. Turkey's on, and Turkey looked so fired up in a warm up. He looked like he was like probably. I was doing a lot, but he looked like he was ready to go boxing or something. He was fired up, man. He was just short and sharp little runs, you know. And then you're thinking it's on this because you know full well if the games where it's like, it takes you Chelsea to scam a goal, and they just see the game out 1-0, and it's just horrible. But we made positive changes, and it just seemed to work straight away. The tempo went up. It looked good. You know, just felt a bit more like a change that was going to be positive. Chelsea, yeah, it was, mate. They were awful, Luke. They were. But yeah, so the positive changes from Turkey coming on, you know, and I feel like it sort of frees up. I don't know, Haaland wasn't bad in the game. I know people will slag him off, but he wasn't bad. He was occupying, you know, he had a couple of chances. You know, there's a chance in the second half where Turkey should have passed him right near the end. They didn't. So I think, look, it's one of those games where another final where everyone goes, Haaland's not good. But I thought second half we were a lot better. And it changed for me when he brought Rodri off. Rodri looked knackered. Rodri looked dead on his feet, man. He did. Rodri looked dead. It did feel like Palace, mate. We weren't robbed and we got the right decision. To be fair, I will say to the referee, he could have quite easily crumbled there and give some penalties for what weren't penalties, but he actually ref the game quite well, I thought. You know, he actually ref the game quite well, which is rare to say for referees at the minute. But yeah, the substitution for Kovacic, man. The guy, there was a Welsh bloke sat next to me, and he's turned to me and he goes, Kovacic, the first thing he'll do will play the ball forward. And I said, you know what? I've been saying that for weeks. When he comes on, he looks forward, and he did. Look, he's never going to be your Rodri destroyer in midfield. He's a different kind of baller. And I've said it a few times about Kovacic. He's a some player. He's just so comfortable on the ball, and he will play a forward pass every time. He's just so confident with it. You know, and Rodri's great at dictating tempo. Kovacic is better at dictating tempo faster. He is. Kovacic can dictate the game quick. You know, he'll get the ball and he'll move a couple of yards of it and he'll ping one. He's a pinger. He loves a pinger. So it just sort of changed the game instantly, whereas they've had to deal with Rodri and Rodri sort of just was like comfortable. Then Kovacic comes on and just changes the game. You know, and he just did it. The tempo picked up then. And once the tempo's up, you saw like little glimpses of it when the ball was going down the wings and things. He was getting in behind. And then out of nowhere, that Semenyo goal. I literally was at the point, so I'm looking like that, and that's the point where it hits his foot and I'm above it. I can see it going in straight away. I'm up shouting me. I was right behind the trail of the ball. So yeah, when he scores that, and to be fair, he wasn't having a great game, Semenyo, and he's done this a lot recently. He's probably played a lot of games for us in the last 3 months where he's not been good, but he's contributed, and that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. Scoring goals, getting assists, being a nuisance, and he's took his goal mint, and I just thought that's it now. And you knew full well that was the end of the game then, because they weren't getting back into it. Even though they had some half chances, they know Chelsea didn't have anything in them to turn the tide. You know, you weren't expecting Chelsea to be like, right, now we're going to make some subs, because they had everything they had. They've got no depth. When you're bringing on Liam Delap, you know you're banging trouble. You know you are banging trouble, because he's a stiff footballer, man. He is stiff. So yeah, felt sorry for Erling. He's OGO Wembley goal, but he's arguably the best performance in the final. It was good. It was good. It's one of the things he just does. He just does enough. If you think about it, he's playing down the middle and he's occupying two men pretty much the whole game, and he still gets half chances. So yeah, I'm with you, mate. Well, yeah, Semenyo took his goal really well. I thought Doku was probably my player of the match. To be fair, don't know. He wasn't great. There was no great players, to be fair. But I like what Doku did. He just seemed like he fancied it. Every time he got the ball, he fancied it. You know, and there wasn't much end product, but I thought he was doing all right. What up, Dash? How's it going, mate? Yeah, smash the likes, please. Dash says so. So yeah, I want to touch on we've already touched on Semenyo and Marmoush. We've already touched on Kovacic. Like I said, Rodri looked a bit dead. And in an ideal world, you wouldn't have started him. But, you know, I feel really bad because a Rodri that can't stand up is still getting game time over Nico Gonzalez. You've not lost a game. I've lost one. I've done 4 times and lost one now. I lost the FA Cup final, man. I was actually wounded last time. But yeah, so I feel really bad for Nico Gonzalez because he didn't even make the match day squad after scoring the winner in the semi-final. How must that feel? You know, if you're Nico Gonzalez and you've scored the winner in the semi-final of the FA Cup and you don't even get on the bus, you're basically on the bus just to carry tea for someone. I just don't know, man. And that comes from like, it's so hard to play football, man. It is. Because he's in an ideal situation, he starts that final because he earned us the place. But I think what's ruined him is the fact that Kovacic has come back and actually just sort of gone, you know what, I've been injured, but I'm back. I'm having it. Because if Kovacic hadn't been so well in the last 3 games, I think Nico Gonzalez is in that squad. It's just mad. Just is. I feel really bad. I feel really sorry for Nico Gonzalez. I do. But it's such his life, man. What's he going to do? What can he do? He's done all he can. Sometimes your manager just don't fancy it, does he? And I just don't think Guardiola fancies Nico at all. I don't know. It is, and I've just been watching LB and Nobbins, and they were saying about Kovacic and stuff and like how they replace him or let him go. I can't see City letting Kovacic go unless something mad comes in for a bid or he has to leave. Why would you let Kovacic leave? Why? We're losing Bernardo, one of the best ball carriers at the club. We're losing Bernardo and experience, right? And one thing Kovacic has got on Bernardo is more experience. He's won 5 Champions Leagues, hasn't he, Kovacic? For 2 different clubs. He's won the Premier League for 2 different clubs. You know what I mean? He's got to the Euros final. He's a really, really good player. You know, and if he was 5 years younger, Rob, you are right, mate. I still stand by what I said. Pep, when he went to Chelsea, then we should have signed him then. We should have signed him then because I feel like he would have been even better than what he was, what we've had out of him for Chelsea and us. I think Kovacic is a mint player. I do. I really do. So yeah, I mean, let me know. Do you think Kovacic will stay? Give me a heads up. Do you think Kovacic will stay? I mean, do you want Kovacic to stay? Do you think Kovacic will stay? Give me your thoughts. I feel like in a season where you're losing experienced players, Stones is going, Bernardo's going. That's 2 really experienced players to go out of the team. There's rumours that Rodri might go, Ake might go. How many of these experienced players are you going to lose? You know, before eventually you have more inexperienced players and experience, and eventually the balance shifts to we don't know what's going on here. Whereas now you're looking across. Whereas now, if you look at it, right, look at Nico O'Reilly. He comes into that team this year and he's like, all right, let's have it. He looks across at the experience. You've got John Stones, Ruben Dias. You know, you've got Nathan Ake there. You've got Rodri. You've got Kovacic. You've got Bernardo. And you've got Foden. You've got Haaland. These players that have been there, done it, worn every T-shirt in every size. And then you think to yourself as a young kid, you're like, how can you not appreciate that? Now, if you're taking out players, you're going to lose. If you're going to lose Ake, you're going to lose Stones, you're going to lose Kovacic, Rodri, Bernardo, and then your other young kids are coming through. So, Divine Mikasa, if he comes back to the team, I know he's been around, but he's like, I've had a season at Leicester. I want to give it a go. You're looking around, you think there's not much experience left, you know. So it's like you need to keep these players like Kovacic, who are just model professionals, been there, done it, worn it, you know. And then one of the things that is so underestimated here is the fact that he's been out for most of the season, comes back and just looks like he's never been out of the game. You know, we saw Rodri when Rodri come back, he was stiff. He was stiff, man. He was stiff. And you know, we've had players in the past that Aguero used to take 5 games to get back to being fitness. Kovacic just come back in, man. He just was like, you know what, lads? I'm all right. Give me the ball. I'll do whatever I can do all my life. Business as usual. And I love that. I think he's so valuable. Kovacic definitely needs to stay. And Ake. Hopefully he will stay, at least for experience, if nothing else. I mean, look. And think about who's going to come in. We all think Anderson's going to come in, right? So you got Anderson. Which is the player that Anderson would probably look up to and think, I fancy a bit of that. I think of all the players in his position, he's definitely not a Bernardo style player. He's more of a combative midfielder who's a bit. I think he would value more day to day from being around Rodri and Kovacic in midfield. I just think he would. He's got a bit of both. I think he's got a bit of both in him. I can't throw Bernardo in that because Bernardo won't be there. But yeah, I think somebody like Anderson would learn so much from players like Kovacic in midfield. I really do. So yeah, for me, it'd be a no-brainer. That is unless he gets offered like mad salary to go to Saudi Arabia or something, which I think's rare. I think it's not going to happen. But you just never know. You never know. So yeah, I think most of us are in the. And here's another thing, right? players we got. What was it, a year ago? Everyone wanted the Unks gone. Everyone's like, he's got to go. Bernardo's got to go. Gundogan's got to go. De Bruyne's got to go. The Unks, man, they're no good. And here we are a year later, and the Unks are still good. They're still the best players you've got. And that sort of story's gone now. And now Gundogan's gone, and you've got your Bernardo going. The Unks are now all right. And what is Kovacic? 31. Is Kovacic 31? He's 32. He's just turned 32. 2 weeks ago, he's turned 32. You know, and I just think he's mint. So I would definitely be keeping Kovacic. He offers so much value, and it's clear Pep trusts him, because if he's been out all season, he just throw him straight in, and he just ticks all the boxes. Then yeah, you'd have to keep him, right? But yeah, so that was Kovacic. I thought defensively Nunes was good. I thought he was really good. I had something about Nunes. Some of my friends keep putting in the groups and stuff, we need a new right back, we need a new right back. And at the start of the season, I was like, we need a new right back. Who is there to get? Who is better at right back than Nunes, really? Let's be realistic. Let's have a realistic conversation, right? A realistic opinion. Who is actually better than Nunes in the world? Somebody give me some names, because I'm not having it. Is there a better right back in world football than Nunes? And you'll say Timber, but don't count. The team he plays for nullifies what his skill level is. He's not playing football. He's playing like some sort of format of rugby hybrid football shit. So yeah, give me some right backs. Show me some right back names. Hakimi, maybe. I think that's unobtainable target. Who else is there? There's no one in the Premier League. Yeah, Jamie Hakimi. I mean, he might be a wrong one. I don't particularly want to be. I don't want to be linked with a wrong one, by the way. But yeah. So there's no. Is there anybody else in the Premier League you would think, you know what, I'd fancy having him at our club? There's no one, is there? And I think a lot of it is. It's because Nunes is a failed midfielder in the eyes of a lot of City players, City fans. He's a failed midfielder. So they still value him they still see a lot of value in him as a failed midfielder rather than somebody who's adapted to right back. So I'm like, in the Premier League, there's not a better right back, I don't think, for us, in the way we play. You asked who's better. Yeah. I mean, but is he better though? For us, I don't know. I mean, yeah, but no, I don't know. Who else is in world football? I don't see anyone. I can't confess to be sitting here scouring the world for right backs, but what up, Tone? Good to see you, mate. So yeah, I can't confess that I see that there's many decent right backs, and I'm hoping. You know what? I'm really hoping. We're obviously in the market for a right back, right? I think we all know that if something comes up, we'll have a bit. I'm hoping something in the World Cup shows. Someone comes out in the World Cup and is like, yeah, solid. You know, I'm hoping something at the World Cup that says this guy's a right back, whether it be some guy you've never heard of, a 20-year-old who just looks sturdy. A bit like Gvardiol when he came in for Croatia at the World Cup 4 years ago and was just mega. You know what I mean? Somebody like that. One of the best games he's dealt with Sergio, Bob Garnacho, and Neto. I mean, yeah. I mean, Garnacho was absolutely a horrible footballer. If Garnacho wasn't called that, he was called Robertson or Williams, he wouldn't be playing for Man United. It's his name that gets... Everyone thinks he's some sort of exotic name as well. He's shit. He's absolutely shit. He is a disgrace of a footballer. He is. He goes off his white pearly teeth, his blonde hair, and his surname, and he's absolutely average. Bang average. Reed is a talent, only a few games, but I've seen him in Bayern very keen. Where's he from, Tom? I'm shit with names, mate. I mean, that Gusto, right? He was actually one of Chelsea's better players, to be fair, at the weekend. He was actually one of Chelsea's better players. Now, he's not better than Nunes, but he was definitely one of their better players. Going forward, I think But like, yeah, so I don't know. I'm happy to say, get Nunes a backup, right? And I know lots of City fans last year were getting that Hyena and Munoz. No. Rather not. Kabore, no way, mate. And all these sort of people were saying me that we need to sign Frimpong. Hanging. Absolutely hanging, Frimpong. What a phony. What an absolute phony. Here's the thing, right? All these people on X and on these YouTube channels and stuff who say in the comments, sign this player, sign that player, sign him, bring Liam Delap back, get Kabore in the team, bring Cole Palmer back, get fingers, get him, get this player, get that. And then when they stink the place out, they're gone forever with no accountability. They have no accountability. So anyone out there telling me we should sign this player and that, no, God, no. Stop it. Get some help. Stop telling me we should sign Frimpong. We should stop it. Stop embarrassing yourselves. Because they can just go back into the world and then they can change the username and just come back as somebody else or something. But no, there was genuinely people out there telling me we should sign Frimpong. Could you imagine him if in our team? My word. We'll be getting rinsed at right back. He might as well play Kovacic at right back. But yeah, so I'm not having it. I'm not having all these dusty, stiff footballers being linked with us to be better than Mateus Nunes. He's quick. He's good on the ball. Defensively, he's getting better. And he's always fit. That's one thing about Nunes. He's always fit. Always fit. So, yeah. And it says a lot about a player. When he doesn't play, you miss him a lot. We miss Nico. When it's Nico Riley. And we miss Nunes when they don't play. Lots. So, yeah. And to be fair, here's another thing. I'm happy to stick Kuznetsov at right back when you need him to play as well, because let's be real. Next year, Kuznetsov's going to be struggling to get in the team. As much as you don't know hear it, he is, because next year we've got 4 real shit-hot centre-backs. So the likelihood is he's not going to play much. I can't see Kuznetsov starting more than 25 Premier League games next year. So the likelihood is Kuznetsov's going to need to play somewhere else. And that means Nunes can take a break, and Kuznetsov will fit in perfectly there. Back to where I know it's Tom. Thanks for hanging out, mate. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll try, mate. As long as it might just be a case of if I can switch my lunch around on a Friday to work that, we'll try and work something out. But yeah, definitely jump on when you can. Definitely want to promote some of the 21s or academy if there's anyone decent. Well, that's the thing, right? Yeah, don't know. So I mean, the Nunes thing, it is what it is. I like Nunes. I think he's just solid. He's doing a better job at right back than we ever got out of Zinchenko. And I just feel like he's just a good player. He's obviously very intelligent on the ball, and he does make a balls all here and there. He has got that gene. Everyone's talked about it for years, but who hasn't nowadays? Who doesn't make a stinker? We all were talking about Mark Gahey like he was the next coming of fucking Vincent Kompany, and then he drops a stinker and we end up losing the league because of it. It just happens, doesn't it? It just does. Players do drop bollocks. Yo, what up, Blue? Good to see you, mate. Welcome to the stream, man. I want to just quickly mention about James Trafford. There was a thing going around about him winning. I think he's only the second player to win the 2 cups in his debut season, and he didn't concede a goal or something. But yeah, shout out to James Trafford. He might want to leave, but at the end of the day, if he does leave, is he going to win trophies like he's won at City? I don't know. He's getting games. I just don't know if it's the right time for him to go. And to be fair, I'm going to say this because in that first half, he made an error that if Donnarumma had made it, there'd have been global meltdowns on social media. When he brought the ball back to him and he let it slip through his feet and he went out for a goal kick. If Donnarumma did that, there'd be marches to Parliament in this country because of it. So just so you know, you got to be fair. You got to call them both out. If he makes a mistake like that, you have to lay it on the door of him and say, you know what, mate, that's not good. You can't hold you've got to have the same standards. Can Reece play right back? I don't know, mate, to be fair. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets games it right back because he just needs to learn the game. I don't know. We've got a lot of options next year, which is good. So our next season's looking actually decent, to be fair. Right, so we're going to switch over to the news, which is cycling around football journalists, and that is the Pep Guardiola stuff. It's doing my head in. What was that? Yeah, so the news around Pep Guardiola just won't go away, and all the media are at it again. I just don't know. I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of these journalists. And you know what pissed me off? I got on the bus on the way in the back, and the first thing I saw was Laura Woods interviewing Pep Guardiola, asked him if he was leaving, and he's put his microphone down and walked off. I'm sick of it, man. These journalists and media companies need to be held accountable for how shit that traditional media has gone. All the journalists asking the same questions. You ask a guy a question and he says something, he gives you an answer, and he gives you the same answer for 3 months solid. Why do you keep asking him? Do you think he's going to turn around and go, you know what, mate? I was lying all this time. I might tell you, oh, fuck it, and go and see you. Mic drop. No, let the guy do his job. And I get these journalists are all parasitical and you have to ask. And they're being asked because all they want to do is drive clicks and want to have the gotcha moment and say, Pep's going. We got it here first live. No, shut up. Ask the questions. And then, you know what I mean? We're sick of hearing it. And now like the same mutants are doing the rounds on social media again. They're saying that Pep Guardiola is going to leave it in the season because of this. Blah, 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 blah. And then they're saying, but he's not leaving because of this. It's like, all they're doing is throwing as much shit they can. Throw the shit at the wall and hoping some sticks to be the first ones to say, I told you so. I told you so. You know, the rumours around the backroom staff leaving. How many times have backroom staff left under Pep in 9 years? How many? It happens every single time. Staff leave every year. Just happens. Just happens, man. Staff leave. Are we that upset about it? No. Staff have left. We brought in Pep Linders this year. Someone might leave. In Pep Linders' contract up as well. I don't know. Just why can't we just talk about football anymore? Why is it just about staff leaving and rumours going around that someone's leaking things at the ground about Pep's preparing to leave? Find out who that is and fire him. What rats at the club. Yo, what up, Whitley? How you doing, mate? Yeah, so this Pep stuff's annoying. It's fucking annoying. It really is. And apparently Pep's doing his interview right now. His press conference. He's not really much said anything. But yeah, I just want to find this post about Pep. Where is it? It's just everywhere. There's just so many things about Pep. I can't find it. Was it Jack gone? I can't find it. But yeah, all this stuff around Pep. Good shit, mate. Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, look, right. And it was, what's triggered it even more is this parade. So after the game, City have announced that they're going to do a parade on a Monday, the 25th of May, right? Which is a bank holiday in the UK. They have a parade and they're going to celebrate the FA Cup and League Cup double at the ground with a thingy, and then go into the Court Live, which is a City-owned venue, and have a celebration. Now everyone's like, Pep's going to be announced he's leaving. This, that, the other, right? Bearing into account, City under-18s have won the FA Youth Cup. The women's have won the Women's Super League. So there's 4 things to celebrate straight away. John Stones is leaving. Bernardo Silva is leaving. So there's 2 major players going as well. That's 6 things to celebrate, right? City are going to want to show off the Court Live in their colours. So it's not the end of the world. I just don't know, right? If you're City and you know Pep's leaving, why would you go about it in the worst possible way? You know, we've all seen these leaving videos and stuff. Why would City do it so it's just left to Pep to announce it 5 minutes before he's about to leave the building? You wouldn't do that. Pep's arguably the second best manager that's ever existed in this country. It could be the first. He could, wherever he is on the old list, he has. He's done whatever he's done, and the history's there. It'll never repeated. Why would they have such a half-arsed exit plan? They wouldn't. You show me where City have done anything half-arsed when it comes to exits. Look at all the players that have left in the last 8 years. Look at them all. It's all done to perfection. Everything is perfection. It just is. Why would it change now for the most significant departure from our club ever? It wouldn't. Do you see that the master on Talkshite with Steve, esteemed company, that what Gobshite? They're all mad, mate. They're all just infallible, frothing at the mouth ghouls trying to get the next thing to talk about. And the realistic thing is, right, Pep Guardiola is going to leave Man City. It's either going to be in the summer, which I don't think it is, or it's going to be the end of the summer. Or it's going to be he signs a new contract, which I think is unlikely, but he might do. It's happened before. We get here before. We've been here before. He's in his last season. He gets to October and he's like, you know what? I fancy it. So I don't know. And at the end of the day, right, he's going to leave. We're all going to have to deal with it. The club will mourn. He's the greatest manager we'll ever have. It's the greatest era we've ever had at our club. And it's going to go down as one of the most dominant spells in English football ever. It's surpassed what Liverpool did in the 70s and 80s. It just has, in terms of domestic level. It's surpassed what Man United did in their big era in a domestic level. It just has. Now, that's to say, in the future, things might go better. We don't know. It's unlikely. Nobbins made a good point with LB before. You can't keep breaking records. You just can't. You can't keep breaking records. We're not gonna win 5 in a row. We're not gonna win 6 FA Cups in a row. We're certainly not gonna get over 100 points again anytime soon. You know, we're not gonna win all this and all that. It's going to be, if we're going to do it, it's going to be different, but we're going to have to accept that whatever the level is afterwards, it's never going to be the level we've had before. You know, and the precedent is there. United thought they were going to just walk the league year on year when Fergie left, and it doesn't work that way. Arsenal thought they were going to do it under Wenger. It doesn't work that way. Chelsea can't buy a Premier League title for the love nor money. You know what I mean? So Pep will leave. The king is dead. Long live the king. If that king, the new king, is going to be Maresca, then so be it. I think he's absolutely bobbins, but you back the man, you know. But we will win. We won under Mancini. We won under Pellegrini. We've won a lot under Pep. I'm pretty sure that whoever comes in afterwards will probably get his hand on a silverware trophy at some point, unless it goes catastrophically wrong. I don't see that. But, you know, we might not ever win 4 and 5 in 1-8. You know, we might not win a treble again. We might have to nick a cup here or win a league here and then win a double. It might be a case of you have to adjust your expectations a bit. But so be it, man. That's life. That's football. We live that, you know. And to be fair, United, right? I know United is shit. But under that shit period of the last 10 years, they've still nicked a few cups. They've won a Europa League. They've won an FA Cup or 2. They've won the League Cup. You know what I mean? They still nick trophies without doing shit. Look what we can do if we're not on it. We can still nick. Let's say there's 4 trophies up for grabs every year. We could probably still nick 1 or 2 every year. So, I mean, that is a level where it's coming. I saw a post on X the other day, actually. Some United fan going on about how everyone's using City's 115 cases as an excuse to mask over their own shit. We're only a handful. We're only a handful away of trophies from every competition we play in to being the most successful team in the country. How many Premier League titles have we got? I can't. Is it 9? How many first? So we've got a lot. We're basically only 10 more years away from being right up there to the point where everyone's looking over their shoulder. You know, so you can make all your excuses you want. We're still there and thereabouts. Spurs will survive and we don't win the league. What a shame. Happens, mate. We could have absolutely ruined North London this year, but we didn't. It's just such is life, right? You are not Man City fans. Your brain dead mutants to support Arsenal, Man United, Troops League. They're really dog shit dudes. You haven't really talk about this, idiots. No, that's disingenuous, mate. That's disingenuous. No, we're not. No, I'm not even going to bother with that, dude. It's just I'm not having you bashing other content creators. It's not right. People can do what they want. They say what they want. You know, each to their own. Everyone's got their own niche. I actually, for the record, I actually quite like Lee Gunner's content because as much as he's literally the same age as me. He's watched the same football as me. We have the same opinions on football in the Premier League over the years. You know, so I like him. It don't bother me. He's an Arsenal fan. Some of the other guys are just pure performative. I don't think Lee is. I think Lee just says it how he is. And one of my favourite streams that I watched this year was when him and Martin were talking for like 4 hours. And I'm the same age as Martin and Tom. We all talk. We've come up from the same era, so we see football from the same eyes, I guess. We're currently the third most successful club in England, one more than Arsenal. Yeah, so that FA Cup was taking us over the cusp of most successful clubs, right? And we'll eventually we'll get into that top two at the expense of United or Liverpool. We just will. Things happen. There are patterns. It is inevitable, really. But yeah, so back to Pep. He's going to go at one point. If he's announced he was leaving now, would I be sad? Absolutely. Would it surprise me? No. Would it ruin my life? No. Would there be a meltdown across social media? Absolutely. City fans would be crying. All the Rivals fans will be saying all the stuff you want to hear from them sides to get the clicks. The Terrys and stuff will be going, Pep's gone, he's abandoned ship, he sees the iceberg coming, 115's coming, blah, 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 blah. I get the impressions up. Farm knows clicks from Nigeria and all the outbacks and nowhere where they suckle on the content tip. For me, it's one of them. You just have to, I think it's as you get older, you become more mature. You have to accept that things can change, you know, and you have to look back and be like, it's the greatest thing we've ever witnessed as a Man City fan. And how lucky were we to have lived it and been there at the start, been there at the end, enjoyed every single trophy along the way, you know. And it's one of those things where, in reality, you just shake the man's hand and say, thank you for everything, Pep, and off we go. And then you have a walk away. And as you're walking away, you just have one last look over your shoulder, let out a little solitary tear, look back, do the nod, turn back, and off we go into the next era, whatever that may be. That's the exciting thing about football, man. It just is. That's what makes me enjoy football, is you just don't know what's around the corner, and eventually you find out whether it be better, whether it be worse, you just don't know. But that's life. That's what we enjoy, and that's what makes us football fans, right? If Pep and Rodgers stay, we'll walk the league next year. He should complete his contract, but I think he's leaving. Love Pep. But mate, it just is what it is. Here's the thing, right? We've never experienced anything like this. We haven't. So I'm never going to sit here and say to people, you can't react the way you want. You can do what you want, react how you want. Me, I'm more grounded. I'll be absolutely wounded, but what can you do? You just have to accept it, man. We've been there, done it, won it all. So that's life. It really is. You have to enjoy the good times, man. You have to enjoy the good times in life, in sport, in family, in health, the lot. Because eventually shit happens and it's gone in an instant. So, yeah. Move on with the times and just have fun, guys. But, yeah, so we'll wrap up with a quick look towards to Bournemouth. Massive game tomorrow night. I imagine the good thing is for us, Bournemouth have already qualified for Europe. So, you know, it's not so much as on the line for those. I don't think they can get in the Champions League now, can they? Unless Villa win the Europa League, but I don't know. But I guess in terms of Bournemouth changes, I just think it'll go back to what works. And then at this time of year, right, players are tired. Players are absolutely knackered, right? They're running on empty. But one thing they've got is adrenaline, you know, and they know that they need to win this game. So what particular changes could you make? I wouldn't be surprised if Guardiola starts, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised if Guardiola starts and that leaves O'Reilly in the middle. I don't know. I'm not even going to bother to predict it, to be fair. I just know that Marmoush won't start. And if it's the same team bar Marmoush, I don't know. The good thing is we have got a fully fit squad now. I've just seen a post there about Man City have got a fully fit squad. So, where is it? Here it is. Here's news we've not seen for a while. There it is. Man City have a fully fit squad available. It's only took us to the final 5 days of the season. I think it's just one of those games when we have to just. It's going to be painful, man. It's going to be a painful night. It really is. But it's just the way it's got to go. Foden and Cherky will start. See, I'd be all right with that. I'd be all right with that. I just don't know. I just don't know, man. I just don't know anymore. Even if Guardiola stays, he will show one more season. He will get Enzo Maresca anyway. This is the time is only question. But wow, for me, we'll cross the manager's bridge when we get there. I don't think Maresca's the man. But if the club do, then what do I know best? I'm just a guy. I'm just one guy. You know, my opinion, people will take it for what they want with a pinch of salt. Sometimes I'm right. Sometimes I'm wrong. More often than not, I'm very wrong. But so, you know, it is what it is, right? But yeah, so we have actually got a fully fit squad. And I wanted to quickly touch on this from City Extra as well, if I can find it. Where is it? It was right here. I just looked at it. I can't find it. I can't even find it, boys. Oh yeah, so this was the Rodri interview for the Mirror. Rodri and his future City. I'm calm. I'm only thinking about my club finishing the season with as many titles as possible. We have the chance to win the Premier League and then the World Cup with Spain. I'm not thinking about my future, I'll be honest, because there's another priority. So, I mean, make of that what you will. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Rodri. All I know is life of the Rodri is coming quick. And I personally think he will sign a new contract. It'll be 2 years. Well, it'll eventually be 3. I think that'll happen. But I'm also just as open to say I think the club will eventually, the club may well talk to him about his new deal. And if the new deal is too much and the club will say, you know what, it doesn't work for the club anymore, regardless of how good you are and what you've done for us, it's just too much for us as a club. And we'll shake hands and say you leave at the end of the season free. I think that's like that's happened too. You know? But yeah, so Rodri's not giving much away about his transfer, his thing there. And you know what? To be fair, that's what you'd expect from a professional like Rodri. I would. Listen, mate, we all know my contract's up. You know I'm open to talking about it. Let's get the season finished. Right now, what's the most important thing? Bournemouth on Tuesday. And then it's the last game of the season on Sunday. And after that, we'll see. Such is life. You know, que sera, sera, and all that shit. But yeah. So that's that stuff. Yeah, so there's not really much else to go there. I guess we just have to hope and pray that we get the job done against Bournemouth. Because believe you me, if we don't win tomorrow night, it's going to be the shittest end to the season ever. We need to get to the last game. We need to get into that final game of the season with it still on the line. You know, we need to make Arsenal win, do what they can. Are you going to be watching the Arsenal game tonight versus Burnley, anyone? I will. I'm actually going on Stephen McInerney's podcast later on today. So that's a bit exciting. So I'll be jumping on Esteem Company's podcast tonight, talking about stuff, probably what I've just gone over here. So I will share that. By the way, if you enjoy the stream and stuff, do hit the like button, subscribe if you like. We're getting close to like 300 odd subscribers, which is nice. So yeah, I'll share the links for the podcast when it's available. I think I might be going on with Joe, to be fair. I think it's me, Stephen, and Joe. I think. But yeah, you're not watching the Stinkfest game. You've got to, man. You've got to be there for it. You have to watch it because there's always a twist. There's always a twist in football. We saw it against West Ham. Arsenal were nervy. And if there's any justice, they would have lost that game. However, there wasn't. There's still 2 more chances. There's still 2 more chances, man. Burnley, they may be relegated. They may be one of the worst teams ever played in the Premier League. But they are professional footballers. And they will not want to go down and let a team walk all over them to win the league. And Kyle Walker won't allow it either. So you never know. Arsenal might turn up tonight, win 7-0 and smash Burnley to pieces. So be it. However, there's still always something in it. You've got to do it. You've got to watch it, Katie. You've got to watch it, mate. You do have to watch it. But yeah, I'll be watching it. I'll watch it for as long as I can. If it's 4 or 5-0, there's no point. You know, after that, the viewing figures go down. But it is what it is, right? It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, so that's wrapped it up for today. I've got to go back to work, I'm afraid. I'm a working pleb now. I'll be back Wednesday morning with a review of the City game. We'll be back at live at the usual time of 8 a.m. Wednesday morning. If you've enjoyed the broadcast and stuff, like the buttons, all the things, hit the subscribe button, all that shit. It'd be great. Leave a comment if you're watching back later on. I'll try to get back to all my comments. Follow me on X. It's the links are somewhere. You can find them. I'm not. It is what it is, right? But thank you for hanging out, boys. Pray for Burnley 0-0 tonight. That'd be great. And then it's a race to the line, man, because we've got Bournemouth Tuesday night. But yeah, enjoy your Mondays out there. I appreciate you all watching. And I'll see you all Wednesday.
You got worse than 6 barbers.